Welcome back, everyone, to the final push to make the Empire whole again campaign with me, Dwarf Pete. Where in the last episode we managed to secure an alliance with the great vampire Empire of Corvuria. And oh my goodness, they have a Wex. I actually did not even see that. Maybe, perhaps, we might be in a position to be able to form a personal union. That would actually be hilarious. Right though. We've got a couple of years until our truce is up with Ibevar, who I want to declare on before I go to war with Arbarani for Calascandar. And since we've got that time, I've been thinking quite a bit about content. I know, the most nondescript description ever. More specifically, I've been thinking about dropping the episodes on Sundays and instead dedicating that time to streaming on YouTube. And for quite a few reasons. One, it gets annoying having to build up 7 days of content. I would like a day off, or at least a day where I don't have to have something prepared specifically. Twitch streaming is nice in that I specifically don't have to have something like... It's a lot easier to produce live content than it is to produce recorded content. For example, we can do Hill Knolls only and fail for 3 hours. I can't make that into a video because it's painful to watch, but it does make for very entertaining stream content. I would know because I've done it a couple times before on Twitch. Don't worry, I haven't streamed on Twitch in a couple of years now, I believe. Speaking of things that haven't happened in a while, welcome to the gang, Wax. That is a disgusting color early in the Empire. I don't like it. A bigger announcement on this will come out next week, I'm thinking. If you don't... well, the announcement hasn't been made yet as of the time I'm recording this. But in about a couple hours here, well, more like 10, the next nation will get announced, and I'm planning for that nation to come out on Sunday the 5th. I won't spoil who it is yet. And so I'm thinking I'll do a dry run this upcoming Sunday, just kind of work out the kinks of YouTube-specific streaming. I know how it works on Twitch for the most part, but I haven't ever really attempted it with YouTube for obvious reasons. Right, and I'm thinking the time is probably going to be right around 1600 to 1700 GMT. And that's just because one of the... some people would call it a disadvantage, other people would call it an advantage, is that if you take a look at the viewer background for my channel, I'll probably show it on the day we stream, but about 30% are Americans, and the rest are spread out across the globe, with another 50% coming from the Eurozone. The Euro. But I figure YouTube tells me that everybody is online on YouTube between 10... not 10, that's wrong time. I hate converting back between GMT and my local time. It gets very confusing quickly. Hence why I do everything in GMT, to not confuse everyone. YouTube tells me that everybody is online on YouTube between 1500 GMT and 1900. So I'm thinking a stream right around, say, like 1700 GMT maybe would be interesting. And I don't plan to bring it past 2 o'clock. Dang it, I did it again. Past 20 o'clock GMT, because I know there's a certain penguin that likes to stream during that time. And if there's anything to this. I don't want to detract from the community. I'd rather build from it. I have no desire to compete. It's just not what I like to do. Alright. Did I get the dates wrong? There we go. Call in all my friends. Right. Now, as I was saying, this is a lot easier when you do it on Twist, wall streaming, because you don't have to make good plays. You can go as slow as the speed as you want, or as fast. So 1700 GMT, I'm thinking, go for about 3 hours, because if I'm being perfectly honest, I get tired after about 3 hours. If you've ever noticed, I get very tired after having recorded in batches of 3 hours. You can't be doing that, Arbarani. Why would you attack? Really, dude? Really? I wanted to kill him. Over here trying to explain some announcements I've been having in my head. What a jerk. Go figure. Yeah, I guess this'll work. So I think that time would be fair to everybody. I don't... as some people say, it's a disadvantage to have European viewers. For the simple reason that the common misconception is that if you stack all of your viewers at the same time on YouTube, your video will do better. It doesn't really work that way, but that is a... Really? You guys suck. Just give me the land. Don't want to play this game, Ibevar. Don't like that. And everybody will hate me. That's a small problem. It's the best way I've got to get over to Calascandar. And I can also get my cap combat. I might as well just read this now. The Battle of Maugun Flats was a remarkably dramatic scene. Whereupon, a combined Free Realms army was attacked by a numerically superior force under the domain of the Sorcerer King. The esteemed General Caelan Longlands oversaw the rout, shattering the Free Realms forces, and routing them back to their respective lands. For reasons unknown, he delayed his troops and brought them to loot and celebrate at the former Free Realms camp. Were it not for this, they might have all been shattered. Could upgrade the Bone Citadel. No thanks, though. The other real reason that I want to start streams is, A, to not have to worry about producing something on Sundays, as I've already said, but B, I kind of want to do something with old campaigns, or just new campaigns that I can't exactly do anything with this. To give you an example, so I have about 5 hours of footage of a Varane sitting on my hard drive right now, and I just couldn't bring myself to upload that campaign. Not because the nation itself is boring per se, it just doesn't make for great YouTube content, specifically. Like, there's not much reading happening in the first hour or so, and it's literally just you're sitting there for 20 years on speed 5, waiting to essentially go through your mission tree and aggressive expansion to tick down. And while I had got a video started on that, in the style of the intros that Fluct has been using, it didn't make for great content. However, it does make for rather interesting live content. Because with the addition of the chat, I don't have to deal, I have other things to do with while I'm speed 5ing through a game. And that's one of the main reasons. There's plenty of nations that I've played where it's like, okay, this nation's enjoyable, it's just not good YouTube content. For 14 days, a full fortnight, the armies had camped and there was still no sign of battle. Maugun was beginning to wonder if the two armies would ever engage, or if this routine of clearing out of the camp and marching into formation, only to return to the camp at nightfall, would continue until one or both of the armies starved. Maugun's band was on a water collection duty, a simple but essential task. Yeah, I suppose in those days, definitely. As Maugun approached the river, he saw a group of Calascandarians already drawing water, and sensing opportunity, he ordered his men to prepare to attack. The Calascandarians were quick to rally to the river, calling for a response from the Free Realms, and within 2 hours, what had begun as a minor skirmish had escalated into full battle, with the skirmish's location marking the northern flank. The battle Maugun could see was going poorly, with the Calascandarian forces pushed hard against the Gwedi infantry. Sensing disaster, Maugun gave the order, and his band broke off from the Calascandarians they had engaged, so long as he could relieve that flank before. Alan the Older has fallen. A cry rose up from across the battlefield. The Gwedi line crumbled, and the Free Realms were routed, and the day was lost. Supposed to just take. Right. So, there's quite a few nations like this, Varane in Anbennar, that just don't work for live commentary, in a YouTube sense. They work perfectly. Oh, wow. That's an awesome event. But it works much better in a Twitch format, or a streaming format, than it does anything else. And so I'm thinking that's kind of the reason why I'd like to, 1, to give you guys some more variety, 2, to be able to interact with you guys. That was one of the key reasons I stuck with Twitch for so long. I did it for a good 4 months straight, kind of streaming every other day. Well, it might have been I don't really remember. But what I do remember was that the interaction with everybody was awesome. And I've certainly gotten that from the premieres, and if there's one reason I keep doing this YouTube channel, and in fact the reason I came back is because I just enjoy the viewers too much. The content can get stale at times. Not stale in that it's boring, stale in that there's only so many times you can get attacked by the command before you roll your eyes and wanna you wanna hit tilde on my keyboard. Arbarani, get out! Get out of the war. Like, I'm not playing this game. Please, just go away. I suppose we still got... Whatever, man. You do you. I don't care. I mean, I guess we just gotta go find their army and destroy it. Right. So that's mostly the reasons, kind of what I had on my mind. I had planned to record this episode earlier and get it out early in the day. Wanted to get it out like 8 hours ago, but I saw a neat game on Steam and had to try it. I saw Phantom Brigade. It's interesting, but I don't have any particular thoughts on it at the moment, other than it's very cool. Okay, and I figure we'll just leave them like this, so we don't get a ton of angry war exhaustion. Right. As I had said, there's plenty of nations that that don't fit well for content. There's also plenty of nations that I'd like to continue playing, and the only reason I stop is because they just stop making for great, like, you can't really make progress in 30 minutes, if that makes sense. Alphonse I, our emperor, stood in front of a humble yet assuredly not small crowd. To his back was a wide tarp, flanked by a pair of wizards in knee length, Demarian blue robes and covered by pointy hats. With a single sweep of the hands from the emperor, these wizards lifted the tarp off the shape, revealing a grayish statue underneath. It is an eagle standing atop a crown fashioned of gravestones. The likeness of soldiers surround it, the stone capturing a variety of poses, faces, and states of being. As much of an experiment as it was a shot of wounded soldiers. Of the audiences present, most are learned noblemen, individuals learned in matters of history. They expect a speech, something to contextualize the memorial to a foreign people. Our king can definitely improvise something sufficient. They must decide in this split second how to take it. No, let's not talk about the ancient bonds with the Goetti. I do not like the Goetti. Sam I ham, I do not like eggs and ham. Right, there's Calascandar. Please, Arbarani, just get out of the war. It's not... Stop doing this. It's not cool. I mean, I can just... Yeah. You know what? Screw it. We'll just let it be. Alright, right. So, other things we can do with that live stream that I've been thinking about is I'd like to continue this campaign, if only to see through to the end for Unify Anbennar. Especially if we can now get a personal union over Corfuria. But I don't continue episodes past a certain point because, as I said, once we stop being able to make meaningful progress in 30 minutes or so, then that's kind of where my interest in keeping the campaign for YouTube tapers off. And when I start planning for a new campaign. Just unconditionally surrender to Arbarani, will you? I know he wants those two I'm not even going to be angry as the Emperor if he takes them. We can upgrade Val Hill. Sure, why not? Ugh. That's actually not too bad. I've had worse. Mainly the Tlucht campaign. I promise I've fixed the... No, actually I won't promise that. I haven't. I have not fixed the war exhaustion in that campaign yet. It's still quite a bit of a problem. But I'd be interested to hear everybody else's thoughts on hosting a live stream on 1700 on Sundays. And I suppose what also that would allow me to do is to access the Bitbucket build. I try not. There's plenty of things I can do with the stream. The reason I don't ever do Bitbucket content is, one, it's buggy. It certainly crashes quite a bit, and it can be very frustrating to get to work. Two, because it's quite unpolished, I guess would be the correct word. Oh hey, they finally formed! Nice. They find... Oh, yeah, they're a great conqueror. That explains it. Shout out to Dendraj for still surviving. They're doing quite well for themselves. And I believe Krathenor just joined the Empire. Huh. I didn't even do anything there. By the way, that's the exact strategy for how Hill Knolls only works. I don't know if I'd actually call it Hill Knolls. It's how you do it if you wanted to do it legitimately without... Well, actually, no. It's how you do it very cheesily. To explain it better, what you do is you get given 4 provinces at the start, right? I like to call it not migrate. You immigrate on over to Ordia. You kill them. You're not going to be able to take their land, so what you do is... I don't believe you have the coring range to do so at the start of the game. So what you do is you either make Mountain Shark, which I believe is these goblins right here, or Ordia subject, and then you take land from either the goblins or Ordia. And then, once all of that is done, typically what you try to do is you try to get Nathalair very easy to do, because they're almost always allied to one of these nerds. Twarnan sometimes happens. And so what you do is you take a province from the... You co-belligerent them in a war, and then you take their province, and then you move your capital over to said province, thus bringing you inside the Empire. The reason you have to do all of that tricky stuff is if you wanted to join the Empire as the Hill Knolls without demonstrizing. Really? Come on, Arbarani. Can I not, like, force a peace on you? Can I, like... No, I can't, man. I hate this. Basically defeats the purpose. Maybe I could, like... No, I can't vassalize. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Does he have... No, he sees it as strategic utility. There's no reason for me to come over here, then. Fine, fine. Jerk faces. Guess maybe I will have to manually kill them then. Actually, I'm an idiot. You know what I could have just done? I'd say that warrants a reload. I don't want to spend the next 10 years waiting for a truce. What I should have done there is I should have declared war on Arbarani, unsieged the provinces from him, taken them for myself, and then I wouldn't have to worry about anything. Okay, let's bring these boys back over here. Not make the mistake of a lifetime, and do it correctly this time. But I suppose while I'm sharing plans for the upcoming kind of content, I can talk a little about some of the other videos that have failed to come out in the time. There were 3 campaigns that got started in between when I took a break and when I started Ording. In order, they were Syadan. Syadan never came out because somebody else got to them after I had recorded the campaign, but Yeah. I recorded that right around Thanksgiving time. I just didn't have the time to be able to dedicate back to coming full-time. Yes, you can come in. And we'll declare for a reconquest over Ruby Gold. Sure, why not? Make the borders clean. Okay, Moonhaven, who are you with? Doesn't matter. Right, there was a Cyadan campaign. There was a Verkal Ozvar, one, and there was these guys, Orglavar. The Verkal Ozvar one, somebody else already got to them, and Orglavar, as we all know, a certain penguin also got to them. But I'm hoping to be able to continue these the intros for Tlect going forward. And as much as I'd love to be able to do them for multiple campaigns at a time, I just don't see the I don't see the ability to be able to do that. So from Ibevar, what we'll do is something like this. Yeah, everybody's gonna be really angry, but you know, that's life. That's tough. Sorry, your emperor demands blood. You must therefore give it to him. Before that happens, though, let's start improving. I really don't want to get a coalition. What was I say? Yes, intros. So, for sure, though, I will be dedicating to... at least next week will be a full week of intros with both the new campaign and Tlect. I'd like to get Tlect up to at least episode 11 or so with intros. And then I'll feel like I'll kind of reevaluate from there. Here it comes. Whether I want to continue intros. They're just quite a bit of work on my end. Ugh. And so that's the main reason I don't want to commit to something that's difficult to do time-wise. And if you're wondering why I'm saying all of this now, it's because I know the episode before the final one is the one nobody watches. Speaking of which, since I've said the new campaign will be coming out on the Sunday. Next episode for Ording will be the last one. Although I suppose if we're doing streams now, it's not necessarily the last time we'll ever interact with Great Ording. Although I'm thinking we'll just put that to a vote when we do the dry run on Sunday. Alright, there's Arbaran's capital. I only need, like... Why am I taking money? Don't care about the money. Okay, good. Got another fort. He is trying to do evil things to my country. It is of no matter, though. Would probably help if I took the war goal, huh? Wouldn't it? Yeah. Man, the top tier plays. How much would it cost to give these two provinces back? 1, 2. Okay, that's not a ton of horse score. Oh, and we can bring Roigieri into the Empire if we want. Speaking of allies, where Corburia? You coming in yet? You seem to be rather preoccupied. Alright, good. There's... Yeah, this war will be over in 2 seconds flat. And just make sure I have control. Oh, I might be able to get out. No? He wants me to take the fort. Of course he does. And that should be that. And with it, that should be the final mission, question mark. I'm not going to do anything on this side just because it's too... It wants me to conquer all of this on top of the entirety of the small country, which would mean I'd have to betray BPAC. Just a lot of work. I would not be able to get that done in 30 minutes or so. That would be a multi... It would take some time. And I'm fairly certain there's not an extension of this mission tree. It'd be really weird if there is. But with that is that war over. And I'm willing to bet everybody hates... Whatever. We basically got enough to be able to push for a realm peace at this point. But I think I'm going to go take a break here. Mostly just figure out how we're going to do this final episode. But as always, thank you for listening to my rambles. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.